This isn't just about looking backward. This is about what do we do with this information to have the right steps going forward so that we don't further compound what the pandemic has brought.
First at 6, Oklahoma's state test results from the last school year are out. They do show the education crisis is worse because of all the changes made at schools because of COVID-19. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lori Fulbright.
And I'm Craig Day. State education leaders say parents can get a simple, accurate look at their child's individual state test results just like any other year.
But they say school districts should not take these results at face value. News on 6's Amy Slanchett looks at why these results are so complex.
Students across Oklahoma sat down for state testing this spring for the first time since 2019. This graph from the state shows the overall performance results are down when comparing 2019 to 2021's results for math, English language arts, and science. For example, the math results show 32% of Oklahoma students in 2019 scored proficient or advanced. But this year, statewide, that number dropped to 22%.
These are consequences of the pandemic, yet we must be impatient for our students to have what they need.
But before a district or school judges its own performance results, state leaders say participation and enrollment numbers have to be considered. The state says historically about 99% of students take the state test each year. But during the pandemic, with relaxed rules from the federal government, about 91% of Oklahoma students took the test, meaning thousands of students didn't.
When we see someone who is missing from that, we need to ask why, and we need to ensure that we are meeting the needs of all of our students.
State Superintendent Joy Hoffmeister says it's crucial that districts take the time to dig into the results this year and use that information to help make decisions about how to spend COVID relief money in ways that will have an impact on students right away.
This is truly a once-in-a-generation opportunity with regard to these federal relief dollars. We don't want to squander a penny.
State data shows students enrolled in virtual schools were far less likely to take the test, so the state really doesn't have complete data on how those students are performing. Some virtual schools, like Epic, only had about 30 to 45% of their students take the test this year. In Tulsa, Amy Slanchett, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.
So we did ask Tulsa, Union, and Jenks Public Schools to talk to us about their own district's data. Union and Jenks said they are still working to understand exactly what their results mean.
Tulsa Public Schools says in a statement, in any year, regardless of context, a single test score does not provide a complete measure of student achievement. We are focused on supporting our students academically, socially, and emotionally within the context of a global pandemic. This year, after 18 months of collective stress, disruption, and trauma, our whole child commitment is more important than ever.